tasted the wine. We're gonna drain the cup dry. Wait till your charms are right for these arms to surround. You think you've flown before, but baby, you ain't left the ground. Our cerulean from yesterday was pretty shit, so we're gonna grab a little fresh cerulean. So we're gonna pale that up. Some titanium white. I might actually add a little magenta to it too, because there was a nice little tone we were getting. What the hell were we using it? Oh no, it was it's in her collar and the tag there. And I think I want to capture that tone again, but like a little paler version of it. So we're going to grab a little magenta just off the top. The brush is fine. And if you don't have any fresh magenta, walnuts will be fine. That's such a stupid joke. Story of my life. Wow, what? Never seemed to notice. Schoolboy crush. Let's just pretend. No, no. Love you fly so fast. Cause you're right. It's a rise and it's past. Story of my life. Left to talk to, left to the kid. I was 7-Eleven. For a job. I had no experience to speak of. What are my experience? Love goes by so fast. You only wanna do what you think is right. I don't care about my McAfee, you motherfucker. I'm gonna leave. I want to leave like a little bit of that visible right there. It's picking up there. It's not picking up this side, is it? Okay, it's just, I guess it's like every shake it's giving some. strum my guitar and I sing about life goes by so fast. You only wanna do what you think is right. Close your eyes and it's past. Story of my life. And I'll be painfully honest. Today was not a groovy day. They very rarely are anyway, but I was debating whether I'd even have the energy to come in here. If you're not familiar with the Philadelphia area, I-76 is a very, very important, though very, very obsolete road. Okay. It was obsolete the day they opened that fucking thing. It's only 2 lanes in an area that's like super populated and heavily traveled, and it's a god fucking awful thing to deal with under normal circumstances. Now, I don't drive it on my way to work, but that's not it has an effect on me. So today, well, actually I guess it started last night. Due to the rain that we were getting, there was flooding along I-76, and they shut the fucking road down for 9.5 fucking hours. When I was starting my commute today, it had already been down for about 7 hours, I think. So when that shuts down, everybody that normally travels it finds their asses on the blue route, which is what I normally take. So the commute fucking sucked today. It's fucking god awful. Come on, get off of there. Get off there, piece of shit. So that's how it started. And I get into work. And one of the first emails I see is from my boss saying, I need everybody to take, X number of cases from the queue where it's backing up. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm almost at 50 cases already, but sure, I haven't touched it. I picked up on Thursday when you sent out emails like this before, so why not? Just take some more. I didn't jump right in there though, because I wanted to see. It's like, first off, I was late coming in because of the fucking traffic. I needed to get some stuff closed, and actually do my job. It's a crazy idea. It's a crazy idea that I actually try to do my job. I know. So I get some cases closed. And then I go in and I grab some cases, and as soon as I'm grabbing the cases, my boss, did you grab any cases from Friday? Like, I just grabbed 6. And one of the things I noticed was that one of the cases I had grabbed was in there when I first looked. When I first got in. When I first sent that message. And since then, one of my teammates said that they had grabbed stuff. What that tells me is she skipped over that one because it was hard. And it is a hard one. And unfortunately it's going to detonate because I never got to it. I picked it. I grabbed it. But I have other cases that have been sitting for 2 days that are now hot items that need to get done. And so hot from 2 days ago is hotter than from today. You know what I mean? So it's got to be prioritized, I guess. Until someone starts yelling at me and says, no, you need to get this one done. And then I'll start working on that one. Then they'll say, no, what about the other one you were doing? And I'll say, I can't do both at the same time. I'm fucking funny like that. So, it's been fucking garbage. And it's fucking getting worse and worse again. And so that's, I hate to admit it, that place gets to me the way it does. And, You know, I've been trying to get out. But then it started hitting me as I'm sitting there thinking about how god awful it is and how desperately I want to get out. I got an email from a place I'd applied that said, "Nah, sorry, we don't want you." So I'm like, I'm getting to the point now where I honestly believe, truthfully, that my company's name on my resume is hurting me. And I'm ready to start telling people that I've been in a coma for 8.5 years and just leave this company off of my resume. Because ever since I've worked there, I can't get a sniff. And from what I understand, if you listen to these fucking economists, we have more jobs than we have fucking people to work them at this point. You know, the less than 4% unemployment rate that you supposedly hear about is considered full employment, which means there should be jobs available. I should be able to find a job. I can't get out of that shithole. So it makes me think that that company is hurting my chances to get a job somewhere. Because all it takes is for one dude in the, remotely near the hiring process to have had a bad experience with us, be it a breaker in their home that they couldn't get replaced because we couldn't get it to them or whatever, or it takes a dude that's maybe a little higher up that they were getting a new building built and we screwed around for too long to get it out to them, which is all stuff that's normal for us. I am one as you are three, trying to find the society of virginity. You'll save me too. So it's I started thinking, unfortunately, because of that, all this stuff going on, I started thinking about my failures, which for someone like me with, major depression, that's not a good place to be. And then I started thinking about how many paintings I've finished. I told you before, I've been cataloging my paintings, trying to figure out, how much I've actually done. And I got my count. I eventually got it up to 104 paintings that I've finished in my lifetime so far, that I consider viable for their time period. There are some that I think are just garbage paintings now, but for what I was doing at the time, they were okay. It's part of the learning process of, they're not all masterpieces, let's put it that way. So, I don't think any of them are, but anyway, when I create a masterpiece, I'm dead. Know that. So it's just like by the time lunch came around, it was like, dude, I had barely made a dent in painting. I've barely made a dent in the art world. I've done almost nothing here. Nobody's following. No one's viewing right now. Like this is the stuff I'm talking about. It's a rough place to be. Right now I'm just going to keep throwing shit at the wall and hoping something sticks. Because I'll be honest, I can't stay at this place much longer. Something's going to crack. And if I have another breakdown like before, let's just put it this way, I'll probably end the stream. That's for damn sure. It got to the point where I was actually looking at a juried show in South Carolina, and I was thinking about applying for it, but I realized why. If you looked at the prizes for it and everything, and knowing how much it costs to ship a painting for me now, if I entered the prize, to enter it was $40. So if I entered it, there's $40 out the hole. To ship the paintings, that's probably the last one I shipped was $160. And I was just going to New York via ground. So, you know, not very keen on that. So I'd like to avoid that. So that's 160 per painting. So okay, now we're at 320 plus 40. So now we're at 360. Then if I didn't get selected or didn't win a prize, that shit's got to come back to me. So that's going to be another $320. So now we're up to what? 640 plus 40, $680 that I'd have to shell out to enter this contest. Potentially, if I even got selected to be part of the show. And top prize was $1,000 if you got best in show. The first place was $500. So you can see why this would be a bad thing to enter, right? And if I sold there, I believe they get something like a 50% commission on your something like that. The art world's fucked up. This is why I tell my kids I don't want them ever following my footsteps. It is a horrible, horrible world to try to make a dent into. That's kind of funny. My son and I were talking on the way to his karate class about there's an old picture they found of me and my oldest daughter, and on it in the photos, my old University Arts hat in there. Allie's holding it, and I said, "Oh, that's my old University Arts hat." I said, "Your Uncle Davey took that from me." And he's like, "What?" It's funny. It was my brother's anniversary with his wife, but this was many years before he met her. Well, they might have met, but they didn't start dating. I don't remember. Anyway, when my brother was going out, he was going to go meet some chicks. I was in college. He's, 22 or something like that. I guess now, 23, 24, somewhere in there. So he takes my University Arts hat. He's going to tell the girls he's an artist when he goes to meet some chicks. I was like, joke's on him. Most women hear that and say, so that means he's temperamental, has very few job prospects. Yeah, No, thank you. And Vincent says, why would women think that about you, Dad? About artists? And I said, 'cause it's true. Endangered species. Even though there's nobody fucking in this shot. Just in case someone shows the hell up. moving right on you, baby. I loose shall overcome. Where'd you get that funk from? This cracks me up because my stats tell me I'm not online. But I got whisper. Who's whispering to me? Hey, Rocket League fan rewards. I got that one already. That's fucking cool. What am I missing here? No? Yes. Did you click it? Oh, okay, I clicked it. There we go. That's fucking weird. Yeah, I got garbage fan rewards this weekend. Oh, but I got that fucking Fire God skin. Oh, it's so beautiful. Fire God is such a pretty fucking skin. I mean, I don't recommend doing anything except for like actually trying to make something that looks like real fire. Yeah, I mean, you could do a blue flame if you wanted to. I mean, that's cool. But my buddy Matt hooked me up with Draco wheels. So I got a nice like fiery, and it's got fucking flames on the fucking wheels, and it's, you know, my boost is magma, and just fucking everything's just like it's good shit. Got to get over the hump. Defend yourself. No, that's not right. That's not right. Just take a little French ultramarine. Use this in its pure form. You know what I mean? I'm saying, man. Alright, no. No, you don't. Because I don't know what I'm fucking saying. Get that nice and loosey-goosey. Lots of medium in here. Get it nice and... Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me when did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I'm a shiver on night blue. Wind blows. Hard work, man, just about. Alright, and did the chat stuff I posted actually show up? That's interesting. On the one thing it shows up, on the other it does not. That's why I need more viewers, people to talk to. See if the Streamlabs thing's fucking around with me or what. Because I did it on the Streamlabs OBS to put the chat in. Poke in there a little bit. Poke the bear a little bit. Get a little Verdian. Maybe a little Verdian. A little permanent green light mixed in there. Actually, I think that's permanent green medium. I'm going where the cold wind blows. Don't lie to me. Tell me where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. The pines, sun, shine, I would shiver. Oh, night through. I know it's Scuttle singing. Shut the fuck up. Actually, you can't shut the fuck up. No one's saying anything. I've got to find a better mic placement. Gets in the way too much, especially when I'm in the corners. That's the only back and forth. It doesn't show it here, but it shows it over there. So bizarre. Mother flipping rhinoceros. A pizza fat and I'm on my back and I'm horny. Bitches been seeing you with the deep seat. I'm not just wild, I'm trained, domesticated. Here's the hip-hop-opotamus, the hip-hop-opotamus. My lyrics are bottomless. Sometimes that rhymes are polite. Like for dinner, that's right. That was very delicious. Good night. Is there a scene like a pornographic scene? Margarine. Ha 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 ha. It's a margarine. Large water drilling mammal. Where did you get that preposterous hypothesis? Did Steve tell you that, perchance? Steve. That's in records that don't get paid because my rhymes that don't get made, and if you roll like me, you don't get paid. My rhymes are so potent that in this video segment I made all the women in the area pregnant. So you little bitches and hoes know I'm trying to correct this. Say my rhymes are sissy. Why? More constructive with your feedback. MC Party. Mother flipping. Now, let's see here. Wanna get me like an untold story. Rather go out in a blaze of glory. I can't hear you. I don't fear you. 'Cause I'm dead, I lost. It's with my broken heart. Alright, so now what I'm seeing here, I'm looking towards the eyes. You know, right in our little divot area. It's a nice little brownish color here. So I'm going to toss in a little bit of an Indian red carmine mixture. Then I think I'm going to take a little yellow ochre and throw it in there. Just to lighten it into a little more Come on, give me a good mixture. It's fighting me. Alright, nice and sharp. Nice and sharp. Let me take our ultramarine. I'm just going to kind of highlight right in there. Alright, went a little too heavy on there. Gotta go back. What do we say? I think we made this yesterday, right? For that specific area. That's gonna work alright. It's gonna look alright. We're gonna be okay. Nice thing is when it's so liquidy like this, it'll just kind of pop right back on top of itself. Boop. Alright, I've been skipping over this song a while. We'll let it go. It has desperately been trying to play this song for a while now. It's Divine Hammer. I swear, it's so funny sometimes the way Amazon Music gets a kick on something and just it does not seem to let go of it. It's like, no, I want you to listen to this song. It's like, fuck you, I don't want to listen to this song. Fuck, I want you to listen to this song. I had Best of Creedence Clearwater Revival on my Amazon Music for a long time, and it just kept trying to play them. Like, no matter what, you know, like, if I skipped it, another song would come on. Like, it was like, fuck, I don't want to listen to this. Like, they're good. I mean, I like them, but... And, like, it would do, like, okay, you know, all right, we played It's Tricky by Run DMC or something. Now, more Creedence Clearwater Revival. It's like, no. I have, like, 12 hours worth of music going here at this point. Like, I would like to listen to something besides the Best of Creedence Clearwater Revival. And it's like, no. And I'm going, yes, I'm your owner. You do what I tell you to do. And it's like, no, we're Amazon Music. We do what we want to do. And I'm like, fuck you. I just had to delete the goddamn album off the thing. marker there. So I might have to go back and get this little. Should still be wet. Yeah. Good. I thought I mixed enough shit in there to. Let's put it this way: I mixed enough shit in there to keep this stuff wet for a very long time. And you know what? I want to take a little red, that alizarin actually, mixing some of that azo orange. A little more, mix it in again. A little more. A little bit too much blue in that bottom part, but we're going to take that right out right now. Boop. Perfect. I like it a lot. Gotta make a move to the moon that's right for me. Well, talk about it. Cerulean, one more cerulean on there. Won't you take me to Funky Town? Like a dab at pure white right there. Just like a little bit right there. And we need some of that deeper, yeah, right in here. Oh, that looks pretty, doesn't it? God, I wish somebody was here to fucking talk. Shit, can you guys even see it? I don't even know if you can see it. Fuck. God, I need better fucking cameras. Come on, let's look over here. I'm gonna try to focus this fucking thing. Hold on. I can't do it from that screen. Hold on. Barely do it from this one. I think if I clicked, hold on. I think I do this. Click that. This. Let's see if this got any better. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if you can see the fucking eyes. I need new cameras. Oh God, I really wish I had gotten that fucking grant, guys. I really do. I really wanted to get good cameras for this fucking thing. Just can't afford to get them right now. Oh, I lost a viewer. It's a shame they were so talkative. I'm like, why am I getting shit on my fingers? Oh, maybe that's why. This is why you always jack off before you paint, kids. I'm just kidding. Just clean up before you do it. I'm a horrible role model. My dream of this becoming like an educational channel is just flying right off the fucking rails, right? Go to fucking town. There's some little, like, like plant droppings. I don't know for like all along here. I'm gonna hold off on those. They're stuff that they're very, three-dimensional. We can screw with. You know what I mean? Like, so let it dry. I just put a few dots and we should be good with those. So we're gonna let that. They're gonna let that slide. I want to stick with getting some of these like bigger details in for her. Like, get her nose in there. It's gonna be kind of important. I mentioned this before. This is the way you tell if somebody's painting your dog or just dogs. So dog's nose print is as unique as a human fingerprint. Now, human fingerprints are not 100% unique. I don't know if everybody understands that. You know, when they talk about fingerprint evidence, necessarily that technically shouldn't be able to convict you. Oh, a message from your Uncle Brian here. See, the trick is that, you ever hear the saying, you're one in a million? Well, the funny part about being one in a million is you're like, there's 7,000 of you. Optimize your PC. Fuck you! I am in that mood today. I really hope one of my customers was on the phone, like they forgot to hang up, and I really hope that I didn't accidentally curse at someone in my email box. Like sometimes I'll get an email and I just look at it and like, fuck you to somebody. Usually it's from the plant or somebody like that, and my boss or something asking for something stupid. That it's like, dude, you either want us to get our cases down, or you want us all to take our shit. Anyway, they're kind of, mutually exclusive there. So you can't reduce your caseload and keep taking cases at the same time. Unless you just be completely irresponsible and just start closing cases. And we do have people who do that, so who knows? Just get a case and they don't do anything with it, and then they just close it. Now, I've done that myself, I'll admit, after like 4 months, you know, maybe I was waiting on something from the customer, they didn't send it, or I was waiting for something from the plant, and turns out that in the meantime, like, they had taken care of it themselves somewhere, you know, either calling the sales engineer and they took care of it, or, you know, and they hammered out the deal with the plant that I could not get done, or something along those lines. We'll put a little lighter one on that, because that's going to be a little highlight. I could probably even go even lighter, but I always found it helpful for me, for my style of painting, to kind of play the middle ground. You know, like, you think you can go lighter? Well, don't go lighter yet. Like, you can always go in and put some white dashes in and add that lightness up there. That's where it gets really interesting now. She's got like a little magenta highlight. Oh, we had some of that over here, didn't we? But I want to mix it with a little bit of that cerulean. So it'll make sense. My problem is magenta's like been dried out on the inside a little bit now. So if I want to keep it thick, I'm scraping it together. Professionalism. Lemon on sponge cake. Drumming my 6 string on my front porch swing. Smell the shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Wasted away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of salt. Now, see, unfortunately, like I said now, how stiff is it? It's pretty stiff, never mind. That's what she said. Anyway. That might work. God damn it, I dropped the picture again. Son of a bitch. Ugh. Nothing to show but this brand new tattoo. Now, one of the questions we're going to run into here is, do I scrap this palette now with all this thick paint on it? Might move it way down that way. Because for the most part, a majority of that paint is worthless to me now. It's very hard. Again, that's what she said. I'm so mature. But there's going to be so much focus now on the fur, and we're going to be doing a bunch of funky colors in there. And I probably need this whole palette space to really mix it in and get it good. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to be scrapping this, but I think for tonight we'll be alright. We'll give it a go. You know what? Nope. Nope. So this is a tube of paint that was given to me by my cousin. Cousin Gary gave me this. I've never used this. This is Lucas Ultramarine Violet. Feinstein Co-Star Auftabam. Finest artist oil color. So I'm guessing French. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody cares. Fuck. And I had to cruise on back home. that frozen concoction that helps me hang on. I would not consider myself a huge Jimmy Buffett fan in any way, shape, or form. I like a few of his songs. I would never fucking go to one of his shows. Ever. My biggest fear when I was working at the ballpark at Citibank Park was that they were going to have a new, another concert of his. I was like, I don't want to deal with it. Though my dad said that it was a very good chance that would never happen again at our ballpark because one of our bosses, who's not, super high up on, I mean, he's high up, but he's not like super high up. If Citibank, people really did want to do something, they would just override him, but he apparently got vomited on at the show by a drunk fan, and he said that's probably the last time Jimmy Buffett will ever play the ballpark. Now, is that 100% true? I have no means of telling that. I can't tell. There's a lot of stories that run around that ballpark that are not 100% verifiable. He is very, very extraordinary. He is even more than anyone that you adore and love. That's the multilingual version. Fuck. I'm done. You guys are lucky I don't get to sing anymore. I'm basically turning to Pee Wee Herman trying to speak French, It's just moan at the end. Alright, never mind. Now, one of the things I was going to say, before I started using this, one thing I've felt I've never quite handled right, and I want to learn to do it properly, is when I use this, go through my brushstroke, I've noticed in a lot of my master's paintings that he would start with a much wider brush. So, everybody knows him for his small dashes, but if you really watch dig through what was done, and you can see that in the portrait of Madame and Marcel Roulin. He started with it looked like a wide brush, but if you look at those later paintings of them, it gets much more narrow. I pointed this out on a feed. I don't remember if it was on here or on my Facebook feed of Van Gogh's shoes, and he had on the floor very, very wide brush strokes, but then little dashes within them. And it's something I don't think I've ever really done properly. So we're experimenting. Well, there's no better place to experiment than on a commission. Again, professionalism. Just gonna put a little bit in there just to. You see, in my wrist, button on the leprechaun. You wanna fight, then step up and we'll get it on. You get it right to the grill. I'm white and I'm ill, descendant of Dublin with Titanic skill. I do not have Titanic skill. Oh, fat blunt, what punk? You don't know the half. Trying to talk shit, man. Please don't make me laugh. These Irish eyes are smiling. The buck while in the house, the pain is pumping. Start jumping. Freak it, funk it, backseat, trunk it. If you try to get it, you wind up sweating it. Then you get it beaten just like an egg. But we can never run off. The house of pain will come off. We got the cake that's trying to get a crumb off. The Irish styling, the Celtic jazz. No one has it. Just us Saxon. Don't have dreads because I shave my head daily. I fucked that one up. I kind of fucked this up pretty bad, didn't I? That's alright. We can work it out. So at this point, we should be listening more to this. top of the morning to you. What's the hassle, man? Rip the throttle. Put the gear in. Now you're steering like Mario Andretti. So let me kick it, 'cause I can make a wicked noise like a cricket, rubbing his legs. My arms are like eggs. This is the house of pain. We're far from plain, but we're not fancy. Running Nancy, so just say no. Now scream and shout at the house of pain. Soon will reign over the hip-hop scene in white, gold, and green. Collecting your dough, I got your girlfriend hoeing, and how do I know that she's sprung? Thick like a bowl of malto meal. I like this ultraviolet, or ultramarine violet, or whatever they refer to it as. Like this. This is already nice. And look at this paint company. See how much these tubes are. This looks just a nice consistency. I'm quite pleased with this. Nice vibrancy. Picked up a little bit of that pale blue, which is all right though, because at the bottom there, it's like a little bit of reflection off of the. Just gotta make sure it doesn't like overtake. Just beat it off there. Let's see what I did there. All right, never mind. I'm so mature. Oh, let's put it this way. I've tried growing up. It's fucking terrible, so I'm going back. I am rejecting this whole grown-up idea. In a sense, it's kind of true. That's why I'm back to doing, painting and stuff. See, where I got fucked up a lot, not like drunk or anything like that. I mean, like, where I feel I derailed a lot when it comes to my life is I listened to a lot of people that had, for lack of a better term, lived relatively normal lives. Okay. They got 9-to-5 jobs, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I don't want to come across like that. I know I'm notorious for starting something and be like, I don't want to come across, and that's what it sounds like. But I really do mean it. There's nothing wrong with working a 9-to-5 job. God bless you if you can do that, and like survive with your sanity. It's pretty clear I cannot. I mean, like I said, I literally lost my sanity from it. And the thing is, like I said, I was listening to these people trying to tell me how to succeed in life, knowing that I wasn't after a normal life.
So I was advised I should get a real job and, get myself established as a professional of something. And then, once I've got, a little money, and I got a little house, and I got a little, car and family and all that stuff, that's only after that point should I start focusing on trying to do my artwork. I had to worry about all these other concerns first. But now there may have been some legitimacy in the fact that, like, okay, look, I became a dad at 18. I had no real choice but to become, deal with the whole having a family thing. That's fine. But see, the thing was, even then, when it was just me and my daughter Alexis, or hell, even when it was my daughter Alexis. Oh, fuck you, Echo Dot. Yeah, when it was just my daughter, me, and my wife, and before we had my son, and before my wife and I got married or anything like that. I feel like I should have bet bigger on myself, and just maybe my wife and I don't move in together, like we did. We moved in 2 years before we got engaged, and moved in 2 years before we got married. Maybe we get engaged and we don't live together yet. And gives me a chance to try to get gallery shows or whatever, try to do a little more with my artwork. I was being told what I had to do. I was being told by people, that know better. They know how to get it done. And, it's occurred to me that when it comes to painting, my goals are extraordinary. And I don't mean that they're like crazy. I mean they are hard to get. They're very wild. I don't want necessarily to become a world famous painter while I'm living. I'm okay with not having that happen. I resigned to that a long time ago, actually. But, what's the big but? Like Sir Mix-a-Lot type, the goals I have are to find a success that will at least offer success post-mortem. That may sound a bit morbid to a few people, but I don't think it is. I don't know if I mentioned my quote religious views. They're not really religious views because I don't have one. I'm very much do not have any faith in an afterlife. So for me, a concept of immortality, so to speak, only comes from this. Yeah. My goals are to get at least enough of maybe a little dent somewhere. That, maybe I can get, into a gallery or something, and maybe one painting finds its way into a museum. And then a few other, a few years down the line, like I said, maybe 30, 40, 50 years after I've died, somebody goes, hey, what is this other stuff this guy did? And I realized that when I was listening to these people tell me about how to get the normal success, that it put me so far behind. Yeah, like I said, I did a count earlier today of how many paintings I've done, and I got up to, at best count, 104. That's horrible. I'm not going to ever compare myself to Vincent. I can't. I'll never be able to hit that number. If I could stop working today, right? If I could literally not have to go back to another shitty 9-to-5 job today, I'd have a shot at maybe getting near those numbers. Maybe if I was able to bump my production up to about 40 to 50 a year. So I know that's a ridiculous number. I tried that in college and I almost drove myself insane then, even with painting. Just because it's so hard to be like, okay, I'm running out of canvases, I got to get more canvases, and then, you know, and I also was working full time, but whatever. It was like, okay, I got to do this, I got to, you know.
Completely.
I really do like this violet. Because we fucked this up earlier, we kind of fix it with doing it like this. Yeah. That's kind of nice. Yeah, it's working nicely. All right, now we go back to the darker areas. I know I'm getting distracted because I'm trying not to. I'm trying to do this and get this done before time's up, but. Yeah, I decided I was going to use as my goal. Actually, somebody I loathe. I mentioned my hatred of him before, but that would be Paul Gauguin. Best count that I did real quick, and I said it was an incomplete count, so there's a good chance there's a few more, give or take. Gauguin had finished up about 250 paintings. And the reason I picked Gauguin as somebody I could compare myself to was because, as far as production, by the time I'm all said and done, would be that Gauguin worked, you know, full-time jobs sometimes. You know, shitty as a person he was to Vincent at one point, and shitty as he was to his family, and, you know, whatever. It's like, there were times he was working full-time just so he could make enough money to paint. So I get that, and that's why it's like, all right. He had a similar type of existence to me. So I feel that hitting 250 or so would be a reasonable goal if I'm forced to keep working and I never get the ability to start living off my paintings. I'm not going to go all in here because there's... Pentagon knows how to turn us on. Orgasm. Slap a little more of that blue in there. Ooh, where'd that green come from? Ooh, you know what? I got a little bit. Oh, I gotta fix that before I forget. That's not good. Where was that red we gave? It got into the eye by accident. Alright. What? Fucking crazy ass fucking thing. And I don't know if I'm talking about me or the damn device. Anyway, I know I'm rambling here, and I'm just trying to keep my head on this and then try to explain my stupid idea. But anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is I let a lot of people put me way behind what I should be at. If I was doing, like I'm trying to do this year, 12 paintings a year, if that was all my production ever was, that's not to me a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. But you think about it, had I been doing 12 a year since college, right? Or what? Yeah, I graduated in 2000, so 18 years at this point, right? So that's what? 18 times 12. Someone do it in the head, because I can't do it. I'm going to grab my calculator, because I'm tired. It's 10:30 at night, and I should be cleaning up at this point. $216 paintings would be done by this point. That's 112 more than what I have. It's a fucking lot of paintings that I do. Just take a little bit here, because this one. Just make sure I can see this area here. First off, this part should be going like that. Yeah. And then this comes like that. And this. We're going to be mixing some other colors in there, but for now, I'm just trying to get like a layout sort of. It's like a secondary base tone. You know what I mean? Like what we did earlier. There's still some highlights in here that we didn't really do. We're going to be careful with that. But it's these little things that we can add in here. And again, it's like, keep it a little rough. That's alright. Because that's where we're getting into fur and stuff, so it's like, you know, something that's going to be a little wild. Like wild, crazy guys. Kids probably don't know what that's from. I remember the first time at my job where I quoted like old school Saturday Night Live like that, and people were like, "Wait a second. Like, how old are you?" And I was like, you know, I told them, and I'm like, "Hell, like that's way before your time." I'm like, "Yeah, but I used to watch the reruns like crazy. I fucking love them." Nick at Night used to show like the old like 70s freaking Saturday Night Live. Oh, dude, it's so good. If you've never seen them, go back and watch some of those old ones. They're so good. Alright, now we're going to take a little bit here. I think, yeah, just I want a little bit. I don't want to finish that off yet. I just want to kind of like, just a mixture. She's got a nice little white patch too, like she's got. already starting to take form a little bit. You guys see her? Do you see her? She's there. She's starting to make herself known a little bit here. Just giving us just a little peek of herself here. It's like, hey, how are you? I'm here. I really like this new color. All right, just 10:30, a little later. It's fine. We're fine. I'm fine. How are you? Great not talking to anybody. Something's got to catch on. I got to get something popping here, man. I really do want to have people start talking and painting with me. It'd be nice. So tomorrow's a non-painting day. I'm going to be stripping down my canvases that I got to get rid of. So I have new stretchers. And that should give me at least enough to work for a little while longer after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paintings after this. Get us through most of the year, right? If not all of it, I guess. Yeah, this is painting number 6 of the year, so yeah, it'd get me through the rest of the year. Hopefully. Hopefully by the time I'm a Twitch superstar, people are donating a shit ton of money to me, and I can buy canvases. Anyway. So that's it for now. Tomorrow, like I said, not painting, but Wednesday night we'll be back in on this for a longer session. Hopefully we can make some good progress on our fur. I really want to get like the dark areas hammered out, like really nicely done. Make everything so much easier if we can get that shit taken care of. Because then we can fade into it and in and out of it. It's much easier to go that way than the other way for me. So, there we go. Let me get to the right fucking thing here. Before I hit the button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.